Hello there and welcome to the new Tableau dashboard tutorial. And in this dashboard tutorial, I am showing you this beautiful one-pager dashboard, or you can say infographic, which has been created by Chimdi. So he has been creating a lot of dashboards in his profile, and his profile link is present in the description. Also this Tableau dashboard link. But I found really amazing examples here in his profile, as you can see, Chimdi, and this seems like one of the very first, or maybe one of the very first professionally looking dashboard that you have from him. So the good part about this dashboard is what I really like is, first of all, it is really informative from the perspective of earthquakes, which is a problem. One or the other person has faced it whenever earthquake is happening. Second is the visualization. The colors that has been chosen is quite good. It's about telling you what has happened over a period of century, as it can say. Is it saying from the title, earthquakes of century, and some the informative text. Down below, it's about the distribution over 100 years, clearly depicting that 6.2 magnitude of earthquake is coming, and this is here you have some ranges based on which we can say something, whether it is a great with a great magnitude earthquake has coming, or minor, or even micro, which is less than 2. So this is a kind of categorization that has been given, based on which this has been plotted. Down below, the information about across the globe where the earthquake has come, and there some filters has been provided, interesting filters like earthquake, you want to view it by earthquake magnitude, damage incurred, number of deaths, number of houses destroyed, so on and so forth. So quite an interesting way of creating a dashboard on such an important social issue like an earthquake, which impacts lives of the people a lot. Whenever earthquake is coming, I remember a very bad earthquake came in Nepal, I think few years back. Thousands and thousands people's houses got destroyed. Even in India, back in, I think the worst one was 2002, if I'm not wrong, the earthquake in Gujarat, which impacted a lot the people of Kutch and the rest of the people in Gujarat, and a lot of work being done. So this visualization is sort of a social cause visualization within one page, with a good combination of colors that is being used. And this is something I want to recreate to teach you basically how you can create a visualization like this, so that you can develop your understanding about Tableau and how Tableau can be used for creating an infographic like this, that you can create either in your office work or for the social cause. So that's one thing. And what you can do, if you want to download this piece, there is a link over here, the download. Once you click it over here, the Tableau workbook option you will going to get, and that's what I did, and I opened it in my Tableau over here. As you can see, this is now my Tableau workbook environment in which this dashboard is coming, so that I can see the various different components which is being created here, and we can recreate it, right? So some of the components are straightforward in terms of creation, like this is a text box, or this is a text box, or if I go down, even this is a text box. You can see even this is a text box over here that is there. But some of the components, interesting components, is this visualization, which is sort of, I believe, what we call dot plot, if I'm not wrong. It's like a different dots over the different magnitude that you are having. Second is this distribution, which is not very difficult, which is quite straightforward. Even this visualization, map visualization, is quite straightforward. The only piece is how we can create an impact like this, right? So this is something, a kind of a symbol that is being used when earthquake is coming, right? So that's something I want to show you how at least I did when I recreated this. And now in this tutorial I'll show you how you can even create it when you are trying on your own. Okay, so with that, the very first visualization is this one. As you can see, this is about significant earthquake over 100 years. So first thing first is you have years over here and you have magnitude over here. And this is basically the different observations. Like for example, you have these dots, which is being either it is a small dot like this one, or it is quite big like this one. So size is something that is being used, and if I go here onto the sheet, you can see it over here that what you have is these different measures and dimensions, and column is quite straightforward here. Magnitude is there, and then these different ones like color richer and all. So what we will do is let's try to recreate it because the formatting is going on. So what I can do is I can go to the file and new, and in that it will going to create the new Tableau workbook. But before it creates or opens up this new Tableau workbook, which it is opening right now. All right, no issues. So what I want to show you is the Excel file that is here. So in this Excel file, this is the Excel file. You will find it on my Google Drive. And what Chimdi has used is a direct link to Google BigQuery, right? So when I looked at it, the connection and all, it is a Google BigQuery. But for the sake of simplicity for beginners, what I did is, I just created the spreadsheet out of the database that is being used there and cleaned it up a little bit so that it does not have those calculated column, so that we can create it once we are practicing it, right? Because that's the whole purpose. So you can see it has quite a self-explanatory name like country, in which country it has happened, day, flag, tsunami, whether tsunami occurred or not, ID, I don't know what's going on there, but location, where it has happened, month, region, regions, code, and I think name of the region, state, year, damage in millions, damage description, deaths, so on and so forth. And another important field is, I think, the hour when it happened out of the 24 hours. I think you even have minute over here. You have magnitude, which is important. You have latitude and longitude that will help us in map. And I think, yeah, other than that, you have second, right? So hour, minute, and second will going to form, let's say, the entire time, right? And that basically says like how many total deaths has happened, so on and so forth, right? So quite straightforward data set, not that much difficult to read or interpret, but I wanted to just showcase some of the important columns. And where you will find it, well, you will find it, I will just go to the drive, and within that I will go to, where is that, data set. Okay, so in this data set, this is the important part because many people request me, and I thought it should be readily available. So this is the data set that you need to use for this exercise. This is EQ100 full data.csv, right? So this should help you in getting this data set that I am using for recreation, and you also need to use for recreation, right? So that's there, and after that we will come over here, right? And we will going to connect to data. So I can connect directly to Google Drive. Let's connect directly to the Google Drive. It will ask for the sign in. I will go in the sign in. I will allow this. It is now safe to close it. the contents will come over here from the Google Drive, right? And I think this is where I need to go to the datasets folder, or it will directly show me. Let's just see this datasets. Yep, and there you go, right? I double clicked over there, and here is the dataset, right? So you can also do the same, but the only thing challenge will be, since it is my Google Drive, it is allowing me to view it. I am not sure if it will allow you to view my Google Drive like this. So you need to probably upload in your Google Drive or maybe in your desktop. So over here we have this visualization, right? So what do we have is basically we need to choose the year, right? And this needs to be discrete. So we have this, and once we have this, we need to have the magnitude, right, on the y-axis. So I will just use it. Other than sum, I can use anything. I think sum is also okay, because as soon as I change this to a shape, and I think with all the different attributes that I will going to add, then it will change it. But for now, I'm changing it to the maximum, right? So this is the impact we wanted to view. Like this is the maximum earthquakes that has happened from a magnitude perspective, but we need to break it up, right? So what sum was doing, it was summing it up all the observation. That's not what we wanted. We wanted to view like individual observations, right? So that's one. After that, there are different types of different types of fields that we need to add to make sure that this does not show just one single point, as you can see, for entire year, but it break it out from various different perspectives, like whether tsunami occurred or did not occur, or things like those. Okay, so I think the very first thing is what we can do is we can add the location name. As you can see, as soon as I add the location name, it is basically changing it to something similar to what we had. I'm just unchecking the names, which is unnecessarily cluttering it up. And from the shape over here, let's just change this to this one, right? And we have this location name. We need the magnitude again on the size. So and I will just make sure that it is max, and I think the size is fine for now. That's perfectly fine, no issues. So we have this, and magnitude and location name. One of the things, if I go to the another visualization over here, we have the location name, we have magnitude that we have created. The maximum magnitude is also need to be on the label. So again, we can I think we can hold down the control key and put it on or drag it over the label. Yeah, you can see now the labeling is coming. So that's a shortcut. And once we have this, interesting thing is what's going on. It is showing you when it happened, right? So time of occurrence and day of occurrence. So it is showing you for year, which is 2013, what is the location, magnitude, right? So we have that. Day of occurrence, that means on what particular day. So if you remember, what we have is basically year, month and day. We need to combine it, right? Similarly for the time of occurrence, right? So if I go here, below the day of occurrence, you have time of occurrence in hour, minute and second. That is also you need to combine it. So for that, you have you have something called like what is the hour, minute and second. So for that, I will going to create a calculated field. Let's just call it the same, day of occurrence, and that is basically where additional fields what we create. If you are completely beginner, this is where we create more and more fields to provide better insight from the existing data. So I will going to use the make date. However, if I go here, they have over here in the day of occurrence, Chimdi has used the str day to convert the day into a string, right? So that's one way you can do that, but I am choosing alternate way, which I find it like more beneficial from date perspective, not dating perspective. From a date perspective, that is in the make date, right? You specify the year, you specify the month and day. To me, it is much more cleaner. That's why I'm using it. And I click OK, right? And I bring over here day of occurrence. It is coming as year, but we need to choose it exact date, right? So we have day of occurrence, and I think it needs to be discrete. Okay, show mark label, unchecking that. So now you can see we have day of occurrence that is coming as 11/24. That means MMDDYY, right? So that is something what we have created. However, if you see, you have for the day of occurrence, which is the fourth field below magnitude, he is indicating that what the format is DDMMYYYY, because if you have a global audience, they will not have, sometimes they use DDMMYYYY or they use MMDDYYYY. So it can be anything. So it's always a good idea, like it has been done over here, that you have the formatting there. So what you can do is you can go into the label, click over here, right? So you have day of occurrence, you have max magnitude and all, and the weight is coming over here is something like this, day of occurrence, right? So the way we can add this is coming over here, and we can say MMDDYY. I think it will going to change this. No, it is not changing this. Okay. All right. Maybe it is because we are saying that it should add it. It is adding it, but it is adding it to the label. I think that's not what we want. So in this case, we need to, if it is not coming like this, which I was hoping it should, then we need to make some changes into the, first of all, I'll go back to original part so that at least that is intact. And then we need to, I think, make a change into the field to make sure that it is coming. Or I think what I'm forgetting is this is not actually the label. This is your tooltip. Yeah, I think let's figure it out. Okay, we have it over here. I think this is where we need to change. MMDDYYY. This is what happens when you have multiple things, like you have label and tooltip. I forgot about the label altogether. You can go into the preview and you can see this is what it is coming, right? And you can click OK. Formatting, like changing the color and all, we can do it the way we want. Okay, so it should come properly now, MMDDYYYY, right? So that is something I'm keeping it. You want to change it to DDMMYYYY, you can do this. In case you need to change the format altogether, this is just adding the tooltip. But if you want to change the format altogether, you need to go into the format, right? And I think you don't. So currently it is custom. If you click on custom, exact date. Okay. So you need to go into the format, and from the format under the pane, you change this to, from automatic, you need to go into the custom and specify the format you want. And accordingly, this will going to change. Okay. So this is day of occurrence, and then we have time of occurrence. So I will create one more field, time of occurrence, and this is something make time. We will say hour, minute and second, right? So this is what it is. It is showing me make time is this integer and float. Second is probably in float. So I'll click OK, but I will come over here and I changed this data type to whole, and now that is done. So now we have time of occurrence that I can pull it in over here, and we will say discrete, not the year, but hour, minute and second. I will just say exact date, but the problem with this is day of occurrence. I will just uncheck this and go to the tooltip. Looks like it is not added to the tooltip. Let me just add it below to the day of occurrence over here. Time of occurrence, call it time of, or let me just choose this. And I'll say time, and let's just say HHMMSS, right? Preview. Time of occurrence, right now it is coming null, but we can change it based on the issues that it is having. So time of occurrence, day of occurrence is okay. Click OK. All right. So we have time of occurrence. I'll just create one more sheet and I'll try to put it here on the rows, and I will say discrete and exact date. So we have the time which is coming, but with the exact date. This is how, I usually test. And if I just say hour, it will only show hour. If it is, minute, second, but we need all the three, right? So we have this. It does not give me any way of basically showing the hour, minute and second. So again, I will put it exact date, right? Discrete, and over here what we can do is we can format it, right? So we go into the format, into the pane, and we go into the custom, and we will say HH:MM:SS, right? So if I try to do that, my expectation is that it should change it. Let me just change this as well. Okay, it has changed like I was expecting. So I think it was either doing some processing in the backend or something, but yeah, this is something it has changed. And what we can do is we can, so for some cases it is coming, as you can see, time of occurrence, this. So let's come over here, go to the format. So we have pane here, come HHMMSS, right? So as long as we have it, yep, there you go, right? So I wanted to show you because these are very important, but little bit tricky in terms of how to get it. So I hope you got the idea, like how do we need to do this piece. Okay, the last piece, I think one more piece, two pieces, color and tsunami. Color I'm keeping it for the last because you know that here we need to create a one calculation to basically come up with these colors, right? So what do you need to do is basically just add a flag tsunami to it to indicate whether tsunami happened or not. So there you go. I will add it on the label, right? Uncheck this. All right. So color richer. Color richer is basically to categorize each of these individual where you have the minor earthquakes and where you have medium and where you have the major, right? So this is what it is: great earthquake, major earthquake, strong, moderate, light, minor, micro. So in that case, a field has been created which basically categorizes this. So just to give you an idea what it is, it's very straightforward from someone who has already done the work. But if you are a complete beginner, let me explain it to you. So color richer is over here, right? We go into the edit. So what do we have is, I think this is not the one. This is basically the one. Edit. So what it has is similar formula, as you can see, max magnitude. It's a simple if condition, right? If maximum magnitude is greater than 0 but less than 2.9, then call it micro. But then if it is greater than 3, that means a continuation after this. Greater than 3, less than 3.9, then minor. So what it is doing is, it is basically taking 3 to 3.9 range, then 4 to 4.9 range, calling it light, 5 to 5.9 range, moderate, 6 to 6.9 strong, 7 to 7.9 major, and then if it is greater than 8, then it is a great earthquake which can create a lot of problems, right? Even anything which is beyond 6 is something devastating. Okay, so this is the field that we need to do, and what I'm doing is I'm simply copying this instead of writing it, because it's a straightforward if-else condition with the formula like max. So if I just go here, create a calculated field, and I first paste it over here, and I will say same thing, color richer. So again, very straightforward stuff going on, which is, if it is magnitude, maximum magnitude, and greater than 0 and less than 2.9, then micro. Very simple and straightforward English statement. So both the conditions need to be true. So anything which is coming between 0 to 2.9 will be categorized as micro. And using this categorization, we can put this categorization on color and get the output. Okay. So, I cancel this. I did not create it, right? Should have clicked on OK. Let me just do it again. And I'll say color richer. We can call it color richer, or we can call it earthquake magnitude or magnitude color, and whatever we want, right? So we'll click OK. All right. And then we will put it on the color, right? So you can see color, the default color has come, right? And the way it is coming is great, light, major, micro, so on and so forth. So I think after the great, what you have is strong, right? After the strong, you have moderate, right? I'm just correcting the color by dragging it up. So after great, strong, I think major will come here. Let me just see. We can see it from a color richer perspective. So if I say color richer and go into the edit mode, great, major, strong, moderate. Great, major, strong, moderate. Minor, light, and micro. Let's just see that as well. Light, minor, and micro. So light, minor, and micro. Okay, so the color conditions are also done. The only thing we need to make sure is coloring, right? So we need to come over here in edit color. We can double click it. So we can go here in the pencils, which I think easiest way to do that. This is, I think, the darkest red, so I can show it for great. This is major, right? I think this one should be good, right? Or what is this? This is pink. No. If you want, you can also change it little bit, right? So if you want, you can make it little bit light like this. Okay, no battery. All right, so you can make it like this. For strong, go to the pencil. If this is what it is, or this is, yeah, I think this is good for strong. For moderate, I think this is good, right? For light, I think we can choose something around this. No, this one. Just choosing the right color so that it is properly displayed. Okay. Whether this is looking good. Okay, let's just choose a color. All right, this looks fine, right? And this micro is very less. Just making sure that it goes in a bit of a continuation. So, right, so yeah, a little bit of differentiation. If I click apply, right, you get this. Okay, the only thing we need to do is change the background. So if I right click, go to the format, background, sheet, black. Yeah, so red color, sort of orangish, light red, little bit light, more light, or different from this. This is moderate, this is your light, right? This is, I think, the minor. There is nothing. So over here you have the micro. Okay, and these lines are coming. So for these lines, think we need to come over here in rows, none, right? Again, these lines are coming. So I think over here we need to come in rows. Is there anything grand total or in sheet? Columns. Yeah, this is where, let's just say 0 line. I don't want to show that. 0 line, none. So now it is properly coming, as you can see. Sticks, none. It is gone, and we have this color. So we will right click and say format, and color is something we need to keep it a little bit right. Again, format, sorry. So yeah, axis, I think axis is where I need to go. This one, yeah, it is coming now prominently, but I need to just make sure that they are there, just so that, you know, people are able to see it, but it should not, you know, conflict with this. Yeah, this is good, right? So even in this case, you have this format. Over here, this is the color, make it a little bit bold. Yeah, so now we have this very first visualization, which is something similar to what you have it over here, right? And I think we have aggregate color mixer, we have max magnitude, location, maximum magnitude, day of occurrence, time of occurrence, and tsunami flag. All of this is there. The only thing you will see a difference where I a little bit you know, in a different direction in while Chimdi has prepared it, that he is starting from here and going here. However, the natural flow of timeline is it starts from here, which is the start of the chart, and goes like on the right side. So this is what it is happening in my chart, and I want to keep it like this. That's where I see it from a design perspective, that we should make a choice, like how do we want to view. Different people may have a different perspective around that, and my perspective is, since if you create a line chart or any timeline related chart, it starts from the left because it says that it is the start of the timeline, goes to the right, it says that this is how you are progressing, and basically creates the impact. So this is the first chart. Now what we need to do is we need to just make sure that we have the sheet and all. For this, I will just take it from here. I'll copy this. However, this is also an art, right? That what name you are giving to your visualization. I'll put it there. Apply and OK. Because giving it a valid name goes in a long way. So I just remove the year by right clicking and hide label. Yeah, that's fine. Because right labeling goes in a long way. I just cannot emphasize enough in terms of how important it is for business users. I deal with it every day, where whatever report, dashboard, ad hoc analysis, anything that we create, if it does not have the right label, it will going to confuse a users a lot, right? So that's important. That significant earthquake over 100 years. So you have a 100-year timeline from 1921. It is going all the way towards 2020. And hover over earthquake for details. This is just an additional text that is there, right? Now, one last thing is we just put it in one frame. So we will say entire view over here like this. So this will be something similar to what you are viewing it over here. However, I will hide this card. Does not make a whole lot of sense. Hide this card as well. And this is what our first visualization looks like. I hope you are excited. We'll move ahead and create a couple of more, like what has been there in this dashboard. Yep, I need to save this, and I will save earthquake _YT, which is my YouTube file. Save. Always make sure. This is like almost more than 30 minutes we are here, so you do not want to want Tableau to shut automatically and removes all your work. So save it, and let's move on to the next visualization. Hello there, and welcome to the second part. Now, after visualizing the first part of this earthquake data or earthquake dashboard in Tableau, we will going to create the second visualization. And second visualization, if I take you here, this is the first one. The second visualization is earthquake distribution over 100 years. So this is nothing but the your histogram, right? So you have, by having the impact of same colors that we are having it over here, and they are showing the magnitude and count of occurrence, right? So we'll see how we can create it. However, it is very, very straightforward, and with just a couple of clicks we will be creating it. So what do we need? We are here in sheet 2. If you remember, I created this for time related stuff, so I'm removing this. Now if I just click on magnitude, that's what I need to do. Go to the show me, and here is my histogram, right? So I have my histogram within like 2 clicks, right? Now if you go back, you don't see 0 over here, right? It is starting from 2. So they have excluded, or Chimdi has excluded this, so I'm going to exclude this. Now visualization is similar to that. And then once we have this, we need to make sure that bins are same. So how do you check whether the bins are same or not? Well, for that you need to go into this visualization by clicking here and clicking on go into the sheet, right? And the main field, the columns or these values are your EQ _ primary bin, which is over here. So if I go here and click on edit, you will see that this is 0.5 bin based on the field magnitude, right? So if I go here, I should have magnitude bin over here, and if I click edit, I can change the name like it was there, but I think this is better. Size of the bin is already 0.5, so I'm good, right? This is what I need. So so once we have done that, right, what do we need is we have count, and but what we are showing in tooltip, if you observe, is magnitude bin. That's not what we want to show. We want to show the actual magnitude that has happened on this particular bar. So to do that, two things. One is color, right? If you see this color, this is what we need. So for that, we have this color richer. So if I put it on the color, we will going to get the similar color. And I think it is great, major, strong, moderate. So great, I will drag this up, major, strong, moderate, right? Light, micro, minor. Light, micro, minor, right? So since they are light, they are coming on the left side. They are major or huge earthquake, big earthquake with high magnitude, they are coming on this side. So that's one. Then what we will do is we will bring the magnitude on the tooltip. From sum, we will going to get average. Going to the tooltip, remove this bin and color richer. Okay, so once we are there, right, I will just correct this. Instead of count of magnitude, if I remember, this one is just magnitude, so I'll write that, and count of magnitude, rather than this should be count of occurrence, as it is mentioned over there. So that's what you have. This is what the magnitude is, and this is count of occurrence. If you don't like the 3 decimal values, 7.169, you can come over here, go to the format in the pane, right? You have numbers, custom, reduce this, and this should be gone. Yep, you have now the magnitude. So this is the second visualization. Only thing is you right click and format, and we need to make sure formatting for the sheet is black, right? So this is what the black part is, but the lines are still coming. So what do we need to do is come over here, none, right? For rows, none, right? And we don't need axis rulers. For column also we don't need axis rulers, and even the ticks, we don't need ticks, we don't need ticks. And even if you see this zero line, we don't need a zero line. Over here, none, so this is removed, right? Okay, so now this is gone. The only thing is we need to right click and format these little bit, and over here I will make it slightly more visible, as you can see, maybe a little bit bold, right? Yeah, I'm just experimenting. Yeah, this one is good. Same with this, right click, format, and over here this, and slightly bold. So they basically show the impact, but nothing more than impact from the perspective somebody wants to view it. Now we don't want to view this count of magnitude sort of a field, so edit axis, remove this, close this. Similarly from here, edit axis and remove this, should be good. Okay, so now we have our second visualization. Now let's go to the main visualization and look at, I think, the third and the final visualization, which is this particular map, right? And about the map, if I just increase this a little bit, about the map, if you will observe, this is the kind of the icon which you will find it, right? And you can go on the website, like for example, you can say earthquake icon, right? And you will find, for example, if I just use this earthquake icon and symbols, right? So for your practice, you will find, if I, okay, come on, show something. All right, they are earthquake icon. Okay, these are so many earthquake icons you can see, right? Similar to this, what is being used by Chimdi. You can do this, or you can even come into the images, right? And we need to do a bit of a search, something like this, right? Where do earthquake happens, or this, something similar to this, or I don't know, even this. So this is something what we can probably right click, save image as. However, if I tell you what I did, I basically created in the PowerPoint, and I'll show you that. Earthquake icon, and I need to go in documents, and I need to go to my Tableau repository, and over here I have shapes, right? I have proportions. If you see, I created this earthquake icon in the PowerPoint just in case I needed that. So over here I'm opening up my PowerPoint, and I'll just show you in a few seconds how you can create it very easily in the PowerPoint. Okay, so you have this. I'm going to create the new PowerPoint, right? And over here, close this, close this. Very simple, right? It's about just making circles. So coming here, drawing a short circle, right? And making it like a black. And from this, no outline. Control C, Control V, and now we don't want to fill the shape. No fill. Okay, but we need outline in this case. So we increase this little bit, right? So now this is this. C, Control V. We again increase this little bit. That's just a small thing you need to do, but this is a good practice from the perspective you want to create your own icon, since you don't want to, let's say, put into that issue of copyright and something like that. In that case, you have your own way of how you can create an icon. So let's just see. Yeah, this one is slightly big, as you can see. Now I'm not a PowerPoint expert, but yeah, I just try to do my work. Yep, something like this would be better. Yep. C, Control V, further. Yeah, and I will just use my arrow keys, up arrow, left arrow, right? So depends on how many we want, and we can increase that as much as we want and put it on top of each other. So you can see this can also be something which is useful from the perspective of icon. Then you select everything by dragging it, right clicking, group, and then right click, save as picture, and save it wherever you want. It's ideally it's in my Tableau repository and shapes, and where I'm saving is proportion, and this is where I saved it earlier as an earthquake or earthquake icon. Okay, so this is what I did. Let me just see how it is coming for us in this case. So first of all, save this, right? And now we will have this particular map. So let's just go and see this. Oh, here you are. All right. So this is based on the cities, right? If I'm not wrong. So if I take this, go up, location. Okay. So you have the country location over here. So based on the country they are creating this. So you have country, and this is basically based on how do you want to earthquake magnitude or number of measures, right? Damage incurred, or number of deaths, or houses destroyed, or number of injuries. So what we can do is, first of all, before creating a visualization, we need to create a parameter, right? So this way we can basically be in alignment with our visualization. So we will create one parameter, then one calculated field, and then we will going to create the visualization so that the impact is coming. Okay, so let's go to our Tableau and where we are creating this. And first thing first is creating the parameters. Alright, so over here, create parameter, and here in the parameter, we will give the name of that field is switch map. Let's give the same name, switch map. That means switching the map based on the measure that we are selecting, and we'll select the string. We will select a list because we want to show a list of values like this, right? So going back, so the very first value we have is earthquake magnitude, right? So the value over here is basically your magnitude. You want to display as in the front end as earthquake magnitude. So what I'll do is I will just change this to magnitude, and I think that's what it is showing, earthquake magnitude. Okay, let's just do that, double click earthquake magnitude so that it is user friendly, right? Second is your damages incurred in million. So this one, damage in bracket dollar. So this is a value that we need. So we'll make sure that this is the name that we will use for backend processing when we will create calculated field. And over here, damages incurred. This is what we want to show to our front end user. Number of deaths, and I think this is, so number of deaths, I don't know if we have it over here. No. Okay, number of deaths, number of houses destroyed, houses damaged, right? So houses destroyed and damaged, we will just say for now houses destroyed, number of houses destroyed, number of houses destroyed, and we just need to make sure that the field name should match what is present here. So we will see whether destroyed and damaged is same thing, or whether we have something, as you can see, damaged, destroyed, description. So we just need to see whether some other field like houses destroyed is present or not. Then we have number of injuries, so injuries description, but I don't see an injury, so maybe down below, a number of injuries and number of missing person, number of missing person. So the thing is here, the value and the display as is different, because this value represent the field, right? And display as is basically how do you want to display it in the front end. So what do we need is, we need to make sure these four, number of deaths, number of houses destroyed, number of injuries, number of missing person, we should have the right values. So for now I will click OK, and here you have, as you can see, the field, the for field, right? So I will go in this parameter and click on edit, number of deaths. So this is a small d, that's the only change what we need, right? Number of deaths, so it matches here. Number of houses destroyed, it's same, so no issues. Number of injuries, same. Number of missing person, right? So these all are same. So we will go ahead and click OK. Now if I just click over here, drop down and click on show parameter, I have these parameters. Now we need to make sure that our visualization is taking an impact of whatever value we are changing, so that this particular measure is selected. So for that, what we do is we create a calculated field. So we create calculated field, right? And calculation, and this will be your same, let's give the same name, switch map. And we will use the case statement. We say case, and this is how it basically runs. Case, whatever that case is. So in this case is switch map, right? Switch map, this is how the color of the parameter is. When, right, when you have earthquake magnitude, then magnitude, right? When you have damages incurred, that means the value within the parameter, damages incurred dollar millions, and we just need to make sure that whatever we are writing here should match over here. Then where is the damages dollar million? Damages dollar million. When you have the third wheel number of deaths, then number of deaths. Very straightforward, right? When you have number of houses destroyed, then number of houses destroyed. When you have the next one, which is number of injuries, make sure the spelling should not be different from what you have here in this parameter, otherwise it will not work. Number of injuries. And when finally, I believe, is number of missing person, number of missing person, then number of missing person. So we just need to make sure that it is person or persons, right? So then after that we call it AND. So destroyed, injuries and persons, just we'll quickly make sure it is person and injuries. So an extra S that it has, we need to make sure that we are removing this, otherwise it will not going to work. Number of deaths, right? So I will just also make sure number of deaths, it is small d, so that's also we need to make sure. So very careful what we are writing. Number of deaths, right? I think I cannot, okay, we can select. So earthquake magnitude matching, damages incurred dollar space millions, number of deaths matching, number of houses destroyed, number of injuries, number of missing person. Spending that extra 1 or 2 minutes will go in a long way to use this effectively. All right, so we have this. Now what we will do is what we are planning to use is basically the country, right? And this is based on your measure what we are selecting. So in our case the measure is switch map, right? So I'll hold down my control key and select this. So we have country selected, we have switch map selected. I'll go in a show me and I'll click over here, and what it is showing me, longitude latitude by default. This is what it is coming, right? Let's just try to change this. Damages incurred, deaths, yep, you can see the impact. Houses destroyed, injuries, missing person. So magnitude, damages incurred. So just need to make sure that why nothing is happening when we are clicking on damages incurred millions, right? Because we have this damage $millions. So first thing first, check the parameter. Damage $millions, damages incurred $millions. Click OK. So we have this. Where is that switch map? Here you go. Edit. Damages space incurred. Okay, there is no, I believe there is no space between this and this. We just need to double check that. Oh, not this. Where are you? Huh. Looks like it's hanging. Hi. Okay. It's just, this is a small thing. I think there is a space. Damages incurred, CURRED damage. This is where sometimes, we need to make sure that the value is being coming. And what I can do is this, and I can do tooltip as well, right? So switch map is coming blank, right? So that means something is not right. So in this case, it is displaying the value. So something is really happening in case of, I think, earthquake magnitude and damages incurred, the first two values, and this is where some work is required. So let me pause this and come back so that I'll show you the exact solution. I see what I was doing wrong, and it's a silly mistake. It should be the value, not what we are displaying. I was mentioning it incorrectly. So whatever is mentioned as a value within the parameter, this is what it needs to come, right? So we have this magnitude, and then we have a value which is damages $million. So I just corrected that and should work fine now. Damages $million, apply, OK. Yes, you have it. Perfect. Good. That's so it was working for rest of the other values like number of deaths and all, because they were same, right? Similar to what you had as a measure. So in case statement, we need to take this value and match with the field. What I was taking incorrectly is display field, which is only to display for the front end user. So we have this, but the only thing is you are having this white background compared to what you have it over here. Plus, there are a lot of other fields. First thing first is there is a color switcher. So, and even before that, if I show you, you have this circles, right? Which is like this. So in that case, what we do is we change it to shape. Go here, more shapes. From here, we go to proportion, if you remember, and we click on reload shapes. So up to us, what do we want? Let's just choose this one, apply, OK. right? And we bring the color richer over here, and that way it is now, you will see that it is changing the color. It's quite straightforward. Houses, and it will display better when you have the proper background. So from the format menu, map, sorry, not from the format, but from the map, you have dark map, right? So this is basically a dark map that you have, and from the map menu, you have other options as well, but dark is fine, I believe, like it is. However, if you see, it is much more darker. So I will again go into the map. We will look at the map layers, right? And we'll try to have it base, land cover, but base. Okay, we remove the base, and what it gives us similar to this. If I try to change it for earthquake magnitude, incurred, so it's quite light what it is coming here. However, what we are showing is good enough information. We don't need state, province, or country, region names, borders, probably no, or in this visualization it is shown. Okay, so we have this, and then all right, and this, if I increase the size a little bit, yeah, it is coming much more apparent. So we can also experiment with if it is showing you also too light. I think last time when I was doing this, if I choose this, because it's already light color, if I click apply, now you can see it is coming a bit darker, right? You can see it probably here. Now it is properly displaying to you magnitude, right? So I think this one is better, what we created in a PowerPoint, rather than what we get it from the the web. Okay, so we have this. Now on top of that, there is a filter magnitude, so that you can right click, show filter magnitude. We can change the name, come over here, we have edit title. We can just say magnitude and not the sum of magnitude. I think it is average magnitude is something what we need to take, not the sum. And tell me why in comments why we need to do that, right? Average magnitude, show filter, and we can format this. Let's format this. Where are you? Show filter, edit filter, format filter. This is font. All I'm just thinking, measure is this. Ideally it should give me in the format. Let's just go here, and okay, so basically all of these fields I can format, but not this one technically. I think that's what it is giving me. But let me just see if there is anything else that is present for formatting in terms of number. Format filter, it's only formatting the filter but nothing else. Shading border, all right, no issues, we can leave it here. And then what we can do is we have, I think we have this, we have region filter as well. So over here we have region, so you right click and click on show filter, and here we can choose like single value drop down, right? That way it will show us single value, or we can also choose the multi-value drop down, as you could see. So I can choose all, and then it will show me everything. Okay, so this is, I think, what we had so far. Now it's all about creating a dashboard, right? So let's move on and create the dashboard. Okay, so for that, first of all, let's save the work. All right. And I will give you some pointers about commentary and all as how you can learn this. So dashboard. In this dashboard, it is quite straightforward, but there is a lot of things going on. First of all, if you see at the top, you have this, right? And then you have this big one container, and down there you have this text box. On the left hand side, you have one container. On the right hand side, you have one not container, but a blank object. And this is outer layer is this one main container, which is, this is top down approach. So this is what vertical will come, one below the another, right? And then we have all of these different types of containers, which is part of this, right? So you have even the filter map. Year is also coming, so we need to choose the year also as a filter. So if I go here and double click and say just map, so we need to also show the year as a filter. Show filter. So this is what the filter is for year. Along with that, I think in the image, in this particular visualization, there are some, so they have added like some other stuff as well. Country, day of occurrence. So country is present. We will put those values as well, because it will start showing it as a tooltip. Day of occurrence, it increases the value, as you could see. Time of occurrence is also part of that. Day of occurrence, time of occurrence, location name. Location name is also there. This is all part of how you want your visualization to be. So location name, oops, it's already there. Why I'm adding it over here? It needs to be added over here. Location name. So we have, okay, over here we have to add the day of occurrence. I was adding it at the wrong place. Day of occurrence. Okay, day of occurrence. This is also need to be discrete, and exact date, discrete, year, exact date, discrete is fine. Remove this, right? You can see, yeah, it is more like a dimension that is being added. Continuous. I think in our case we have to keep choosing this. Switch map, flag tsunami. So where are you? Flag tsunami. Yeah, there you go. Detail. So whether tsunami came or not, that's basically what it is. So looks like most of this is what we already have. Day of occurrence. Only in case of time of occurrence, you can see we are getting that issue. I have told you earlier how you can format it. Now it's time you practice it about changing the format of time. So I think in the very first visualization I told you, here if you see the second value in the tooltip, time of occurrence, this is what I told you earlier. You need to do the same over here, and that's something you can take it as a practice. Also format it, properly, like a proper, visualization or tooltip, something like this, what we already have. Okay, so once we have this, right, what we do is we come over here. We come over here in our dashboard, not in this dashboard, but we come over here in our dashboard, and we have our map. We have all these values that needed to be there, and here let's first of all add a vertical container, right? Because that's what it is needed for creation of all the objects one below the another. So if I go back to the main dashboard, first thing first is this earthquake of a century. So in this case, the Chimdi has taken the floating, right? But what I will do is I will going to take the text object over here, and for now I will simply double click and copy this. Instead of writing it line by line, paste it here and click OK. So nothing is coming to you because the background is not black, right? Also, this part need to be in center. Okay. All right. So what do we do to make it black? Well, first of all, we select outer container, layout, background, black. Okay. I'm choosing this first one over here, and we will format it as we feel like. But you can see that because of this container and some more settings, it looks like it is not end to end but part of this. But we will change this and format it the way we want. So this is back, and this is now the text is coming as we are seeing over here. Now the second visualization, right? So we go to the dashboard, we come over here and we bring the second visualization. Significant earthquakes over 100 years. These are the years. This is what the values are. The values are changing the interval, so you can right click, edit axis, right, tick marks, major tick marks. You can make a tick interval. So as soon as you do that, you have 1 to 10, right? So this should be fine as well, instead of 0 to this much. So we have this. Only thing is here, I don't like too much, eye attention to the white label. So that's why I'm keeping it a little bit light. User first see, okay, where he wants to see the impact and then what the year is. Not like what the year is and then what is the impact. I want him to focus on visualization. So right click, edit axis, and I will just remove the magnitude over here. Okay, so that way it will get more space. But then, we get a problem where it is again value has gone. So this is crazy. Tick interval, let's say 2. Minor ticks, tick interval. So also let's take it 2. And okay, so 0 to this much. Oops, I created one more dashboard by accident. Delete. Okay, so this is the first part of the visualization, as you can see. Now the second thing is over here you have this box, right? So what do we need? We need, in this case, a floating container. So click on floating and bring the text over here, and I will just double click and Control A, Control C. What it is showing is the largest earthquake on record till date is Valdivia earthquake that occurred on May 22, 1960. That's basically the observation one has to provide while working with the visualization. And I'm just putting it over here. You will view it, you understand in a couple of minutes like why I'm doing it, because we will keep on changing wherever we want. So this is what I'm taking as a floating. Now the next thing is earthquake distribution. But if you see, this is one visualization, this is another. In this case, Chimdi has taken the floating, but what I will going to do is I will take a fixed one so that it is fixed like a tiled. Okay. So what I'll bring is, the reason I'm doing this is because I want you to be, more friendly to your containers, because it will not move way too much like a floating container when a screen size changes. So it just fixes the visualization. So I'm putting the horizontal container, right, bringing it down a little bit, and we will do all these adjustments, so don't worry about that. And I will bring first this visualization, right, and we will make it, by clicking over here, we'll make it floating, and we will put it somewhere here, right? And we can format it, format legend, and over here in font, okay, this is title, and this is the font. Let me, okay, I have entered into drawing. This much is good. Okay, so we have done this, Now what do we need is, we need to add the text box. So if I bring the text box and I put it over here, and what do I need is basically this information. So this is what it is showing, is the magnitude, what the range of magnitude is. So I will double click and copy this, instead of writing one by one, click OK, and now it is becoming part. So you can see, rather than floating, you can actually fix it in a container, which in my view is much better, because you can fix it up and make sure that they are not going haywire or out of the screen when screen sizes changes based on what the user, where the user is looking at, like a desktop or a small laptop, like a 13-inch laptop, 16-inch laptop, stuff like that. So with that, we have this. We don't want to show the title, so we click on hide title. I think there is nothing like a title over here. So this information is now present. Down below, we have this again, a floating, but we will continue using our containers. So I will increase the height to something which is 2000. Yeah, 2000 is good from my perspective. And then what I can do is, I can increase the size of this little bit, right? And we can, so you can see now, because of that, since it is floating, it is just changing anywhere, right? It is moving up or down. We don't want that. So that is the reason I choose maximum time the fixed containers, horizontal, vertical. Okay, so we have this visualization. Now we will, below to that, bring the map. Oops, I incorrectly put it outside. Let me just put it here. Nope. Yeah, I think this is fine. So we have all these containers that we will going to pick and add it where we want. So first thing first is giving it a little bit less size, and this will move over here in a minute, so don't worry, we have our map here. We will go here and not this, but I will going to put it below this. So it has taken a lot of space, as you can see. So what I am doing is, I am going up, right, and from here we are going down, further down, further down, further down, just to make sure that visualization is coming perfectly. So I hope you are able to see the borders that I am changing, right? Okay, minor, and there is one more, micro. Perfect. So you can see. Okay, so what has happened is, my Tableau got shut down automatically. So that's the reason, always make sure you save the world. So this is what I was working with. Let me see how much of my work is saved. If not, I will pause and come to that level and then start showing you. Tableau has quit or encountered an unexpected don't send. Okay, so a lot has gone. So you can see the issue, right? So it is connecting with my connection, allow because it is on Google Drive, right? So what I'll do is, let me bring up all of this, bring the dashboard, and then come back. All right, so I have, in another 5 minutes, I have brought all of these objects together like it was. So what I'm going to do is, over here in this visualization, if you see, you have map filters like this one. But what I will do is, I will, for the sake of simplicity and user interactivity, user don't have to get confused that one filter is present here, one here, and another here. Usually not the design what I follow. So I will make this change. And the change from that perspective is, what I will do is, I will try to bring in below here. If it is not coming, what I can do is, I can even go to the layout, right? So we have this tiled layout, horizontal, tiled, vertical, all of this, right? And we have what within vertical, we have this horizontal, vertical, sheet 1, sheet 2, we have sheet 3. In that we have years, right? So what we will do is, we will put magnitude over, try to put the magnitude, right click, if I try to drag this up, no, so I need to come over here and make a bit of an adjustment. I'll just try to see if I can view. No, there is nothing like view or anything. Okay, now I think it is good. So it will come here, magnitude is here, right? And after that we have this, which I will bring it beside this, and then the regions, right? I will try to adjust it, don't worry, it happens. Okay, so now we will adjust this. I'll make sure I'll save this, otherwise everything will be gone. Okay, so we have this, we have this, we have this, regions. So to me this is a much cleaner layout as compared to this one, right? So we have, if I bring it up a little bit, yeah, this much is fine. So we have magnitude, we have this. What I'll do is, I'll just try to click one, enter. Nope, nothing happens. I was just trying to bring it down. Okay, so we have this magnitude from 0 to 7.87 is something what is coming as an average, right? And we have years, and down below we have this chart. So something is coming, that means it is title. So right click and say hide title. And now if I try to change earthquake, number of death, earthquake magnitude, all, number of missing person, deaths, and all of these. So all of this is coming. Now you can see that number of values are coming less, is because I think I have not added again location, name, all of those type of values, right? Day of occurrence, this should be exact date, time of occurrence, again discrete, time of occurrence again discrete, but I will keep it like exact time. And so these are the ones which we added and was not part of it. Now if I just go here and try to change earthquake magnitude, you will see now lot many values, because more details have been added to the visualization. Number of deaths, earthquake, you want to see it for any region like a Central America, so it's over here. We want to view it like a Middle East, right? We want to look at East Asia. This is where it is, right? So now this visualization is mostly there. I think what else is present is earthquake map, right? This is again the text which is coming. So what you can do is, rather than, again, it is floating. So I don't want it floating. That's not what I like. So I'll go and bring a text. Ooh, this is floating. Tiled. Text. Okay. I will just double click and I'll copy this and paste it. So an important part is, you may be wondering, like, how can we write a commentary like this? So two things what I feel through which you can really do. One is, what I have found is, few years back I was preparing for IELTS, IELTS, that is International English Language Testing System. That's where they test your speaking skills, listening skills, writing skills and reading skills. I think these are the 4 skills that they test, right? So there, in writing skills, if you are preparing for a student visa, then in that case there is a section where they give you a chart, right, or chart type of an image, and ask you to write about that. So it's basically developing your skill about how much you can really observe from a chart, observe from a situation, and write about it. And same thing is going over here. It's an earthquake situation. It's about a map. So it's earthquake map, the title. The earthquake map shows earthquake data, century over different measures like we have, right? Color legend denotes the earthquake severity. So we need to make sure that legend is present over here, legend, color richer, right? And we just need to make sure that it is, we'll make this floating. Okay. So we have this, and we will just make sure that this is present at the right place. Okay. So if I come down, I have this, and I will bring it below, right? Somewhere here. We will go here, format legend, like we have done it over here. So font, this one, actual legend, this, and we have the legend, right? So we have this, click the legend item to filter map. So this one, this one, this one, anything what we filter, we're going to filter the map, right? So this is about it. Available map. So available map says you have the maps available by these measures. Same is being written over here. Earthquakes by magnitude, damage, million, and all that, right? So you can even write it like available maps and additional filters. You can filter by year, you can filter by magnitude, you can filter by this. So this is about how much commentary we want to write, and accordingly, based on what we are providing, what we are having it over here, we can also write about tooltip. Like when you hover over, you will see that country, location name, and day of occurrence, time of occurrence, all of that over here. Similarly, if you go up, you will see that this is about a significant earthquake database. So this is a little bit about the database, little bit about, criteria like death causing moderate damage and all, what this database is all about. So and little bit then about the visuals, explore significant earthquakes since 1921, provide information about date and time and occurrence. So if you see, our visualization is very much similar to this visualization that we have created, giving you a feeling of an infographic. Now the only last piece is, if you see, there is some space here and here. And then for that, first thing first is, I will keep the size as 1200, which is in the original dashboard here. So I will keep it 1200. Okay, so I get some space over here and down below as well. And then with the help of the container, or no, not container, I'm sorry, with the help of a blank object, which I will put it here. So you can see what I'm doing. right? So now a object is present here. Similarly, I will put a blank object on the right hand side. Yep. And we will reduce and we will little bit move this here. Okay, so now you have this, you have this one as well, right? Where if you want to move it up or down, you can add an object at the top as well, if this is what you feel like. So now you can like this, right? So this is all about, fixing up the layout. Here a lot of floating layout is being used, but so this is how the original dashboard is. And if I go to the dashboard we created here, I hope you created with me step by step. We have this dashboard what we created, right? So I hope you enjoyed this journey with me of close to 1.5 hours, and I hope you learned a lot. Let me know if you have any question. I'll be happy to answer that. Thank you for watching, and I'll meet you in the next video with some new visualization.